I'm Joe Zekas. I'm sitting here in the office of Dan McLean, MCL Companies. Now we're sitting in the biggest deal of all, River East.
Right.
Give me some overview. Give people some overview of River East.
Well, River East, they thought it was a little crazy 10 years ago too, or almost 11 years now when we announced it, because it was all parking lots, and but I felt, of course, this was probably the best location I could ever find, being with Lakeshore Drive and Navy Pier and Michigan Avenue, and there just wasn't anything over here, so that people had a hard time visualizing it, and we really set out to create a neighborhood, which is what all of our developments we've tried to do. And in creating a neighborhood, we wanted to bring in the stores that people would want to shop in, and as well as build the residences that they want to live in. So River East has been phenomenal. It's about
We got an overview of the scale. It's going to be thousands of residential units.
well, we've built all over 4,000 altogether over here already, just in our original property boundaries of Columbus to Lakeshore Drive and Grand Avenue to the river. I think we have over 4,000 residents now. We have 450,000 feet of retail. We've got the only
hotels.
Yeah, and we built the 450 room Embassy Suites, and of course there was a Sheraton here just before that. So we've got hotels. We've got the only multiplex movie theater in downtown Chicago with our 21 screen AMC that's been phenomenally successful. I mean, the crowds that come to it every night are just amazing. And then we've done that, got what we feel is the best grocery store in Fox and Nobel, gourmet grocery store that we brought to the neighborhood. And then of course, right across the street from us is also a Dominick's that another developer put in. So I think that this River East neighborhood is the best and most complete neighborhood in Chicago. I mean, you can literally live and work here. We have office buildings here, our own building, the River East Plaza building, plus of course NBC Towers across the street. So people can live and shop and work and go to the movies and go to play. They can go to Navy Pier. They can go to the Lucky Strike bowling alley and the sports bar and go to the movies. Walk to the beach and go to Walgreens and go to Dominick's and go to Fox and Nobel and go to some nice restaurants. PJ's and Del Costa and a number, and we're getting more new restaurants in. And of course banks, we got more banks. If you look out my window here, we got 3 banks on corners.
You have to wonder about their survival rate though, don't you?
Although it's funny, the National City got bought, they're just opening a new branch on the corner here anyway. And
what's next for Dan McLean? You've developed in other cities also, in Denver and Miami and New York?
Yeah, we've developed a nice portfolio now of other urban projects. I've always liked urban projects, so we did we did a fabulous rehab and a new high-rise in Manhattan on Central Park West, which was lots of fun. Are you being sarcastic about that? Or?
No,
it was, for me it was a lot of fun.
New York is
It's a hard place to work, and it's a different place to work. But the building, it was a landmark, and it's a magnificent 1890s structure, and it's won all kinds of awards for us that we were able to renovate it and in a historical fashion. We're having fun. We're doing we have projects, large residential projects in South Boston, along the waterfront in South Boston, that we're just getting ready to start. We've got the biggest high-rise going up biggest residential high-rise going up in Charlotte, North Carolina. We hope those banks stay in business, keep all those people working in Charlotte, and we're having a lot of fun doing another hotel. We had done this big Embassy Suites here, and now we're heavily involved in doing the interior right now, specking and buying for the interior of the new Four Seasons in Denver. And it's both a hotel and condo building. we're doing, we have a number of sites in Atlanta that we haven't started yet, but Atlanta's a little overbuilt right now, but we think it'll be back in another year or two, and so we have sites for a very large mixed. Very excited about a very large 30-acre site we have in the very high-end area of Atlanta called Vinings, and it's right now 300 apartments, but we're going to tear that down and build a whole new city on 30 acres in that site. And, actually, we're just expanding it with another 20 acres, so it'll be a 50-acre planned community of everything from hotels and senior lifestyle to
So you're not slowing down?
No, we're not slowing down.
You're accelerating, it sounds like.
Yeah, we're accelerating, and then we're also in Denver, and then we're in Las Vegas. We have a bunch of land in Las Vegas. Fortunately, we didn't start building that land yet either, and so we'll be sitting on that land for a year or two. But we're.
Do you think things are going to come back that quickly?
I think things will come back in a couple of years. I think they will. Meanwhile, we're looking at a lot of different strategies. Some of the sites we may build some rental buildings on because rental works, and that's about the only thing you can get financing for. So no, we're not slowing down. We're kind of looking at like everybody else. We're looking at ways to keep busy building rental buildings, or looking at some opportunities maybe to buy some projects that aren't doing well, obviously, as condo buildings that could be turned into rental buildings. So we're working, like most developers I keep seeing, we're working with some of the banks and some of, that's actually what Shell has been doing for us, is going to the banks and talking to them about their problem loans and helping them with buying projects from them.
You know, one of the ways I think you've been successful is Chicago is open in ways that other cities aren't.
That's correct, right. That's true. I mean, like cities like New York that are very difficult to build in aren't open, and even Boston, those kinds of cities are very difficult to get started in. Of course, the projects if you can get the projects done there, you end up being in a much smaller competitive environment, so you don't have as many.
Some of those are old boy networks, and Chicago's been accused of being an old boy network, but you were never.
No.
You didn't start out as part of that network.
No. But you know, Chicago. Well, right now, the lenders are, basically, if they're considering anything for anybody, they're looking at more of the established developers than they are as the guys that were just in my office said. They said, we don't want any architects turned builders. We want the guys that have been around.